Back at the Staples Center, and here are the by now familiar starting lineups for the Blazers and the Lakers. And here is the very familiar face and voice of Ahmad Rashad.
All right, thanks, Bob. I talked to Scottie Pippen before the game, and he told me that they are really in a spot. He said this team has really not gotten over the 2 losses they had in Portland, especially in Game 3. He said that was a real body blow in his task tonight, is to try to get his guys to focus and realize that this game is their entire season. On another note, Scottie Pippen, in the waning minutes of Game 4, 52 seconds left, you see Scottie getting hit here by John Salley, retaliates with a forearm to the back of John Salley's head. The league reviewed this, and Scottie was fined $10,000 for his act. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. 6 teams in NBA history have come back down 1-3 to win a playoff series. Most recently, the Heat over the Knicks back in 1997. That's the hill Portland faces. They won once here in the regular season. They won Game 2 of this playoff series on this floor. Entering Friday's Game 3, they had split 6 games with the Lakers. Game 3 could have gone either way. And then no matter what happens Sunday, change 1 play, and the Blazers come in here 2-2, and everybody's talking about this as a great series and the Lakers being in jeopardy. But they didn't get the last basket. The Lakers did. And then they couldn't hold on in the second half, and they're down 3-1.
Bob, what we saw in Portland was the Lakers going early to Glenn Rice. Set plays to try to get him involved offensively. Let's see if they follow the same script here tonight.
The officials are Joe Crawford, Terry Durham, and Ronnie Nunn. Glenn Rice, 21 points in Game 4. His best performance of the playoffs. Kobe Bryant with the fadeaway, and Pippen comes over to block it. Pippen into Rasheed Wallace, looking to go to work on AC Green. Bryant cheating over to try to help, but Rasheed hits off the glass.
And conversely, what Portland has done is go to Rasheed Wallace against AC Green. This time he delivers. All the games he's gotten off to a great start against AC Green. He loves that matchup.
He had 34 in Game 4 and played all 48 minutes despite a bad ankle. Shaq over Sabonis. Hit the side of the glass, but it bounces right to Bryant, who puts it in.
That's the problem with Stoudemire guarding Kobe Bryant. They missed a shot, and he goes in and gets the offensive rebound. As a smaller guard, you've got to block him out.
Here's Steve Smith. And his 3 makes it 5-2 Blazers.
2 confident possessions that time for Portland. The first in that play, you get Rasheed Wallace with a nice post play. Steve Smith with a jumper. Good start.
But they've had good starts before.
Can they stay consistent throughout? That's been the whole key.
Kobe Bryant into heavy traffic. Ball knocked loose. Stoudemire's got it. Pippen to the front court with him, and Scottie finishes.
When I spoke to Scottie before the game, he says, Doug, we got to get off to a great start, but at the same time, we've got to do it in such a way so we don't expend so much energy. I would think right now they would consider this a good start.
Smith on Rice. Jumper over him. Rebound knocked around into the hands of Stoudemire. Rasheed Wallace in deep. Shaq comes over to help, and that's big-time help. Rasheed Wallace goes down, no call. Pippen drives through, and there is a whistle.
You can see any time that Scottie Pippen does not have Kobe Bryant on him, he feels like that he can break down the LA defense. That time he drove right past Ron Harper, got in the lane, and got the foul. This is the Scottie Pippen that we saw in games 1 and 2 here at the Staples Center, making things happen early.
The risk the Lakers have been willing to take in having Kobe Bryant guard him is that Kobe might get in foul trouble. With Kobe on him, he made just 9 of 25 combined in the 2 games in Portland. He missed them both. Harper swoops in and scores.
We don't see that often. Ron Harper breaking a man down off the dribble, especially Scottie Pippen at half court, all the way to the basket.
Pippen out of the double to Sabonis. A long two, no good. O'Neal, who prides himself on his ball handling skills, brings the dribble to the front court. And a whistle from Joe Crawford, an offensive foul on the Lakers. It's number 1 on Glenn Rice.
Ron Harper breaks down Scottie Pippen, goes all the way to the basket, uses his off arm to shield Rasheed Wallace so he can't jump. And with a strong finish of Harper in Portland, averaged 15 points in those games. A big 18-point game 4, and then the clincher, that game-winning shot in game 3. So he had his 2 best games of the playoffs, Bob, just when they needed him on the road.
Foul here on Kobe Bryant. That's his first. Sabonis. Shaq gave him a little room. He shot an air ball. Glenn Rice on the lob to O'Neal. And the pass actually went in the basket, it appeared.
We have to see that. It looked like Shaquille guided that ball into the basket, was in the cylinder. They gave that basket to Glenn Rice. I think that should be offensive goaltending. That ball was in the basket.
Stoudemire's jumper is off. Sabonis is on the offensive glass. And O'Neal is called for goaltending at the other end for getting a piece of that as it descended. So credit the basket to Sabonis. There's no question that what Rice was doing was trying to pass to Shaq, but his pass went in the basket.
Now the question is, did Shaq guide it down in the cylinder? That ball looked like it was in the basket, as we see here Portland knocking the ball loose once again.
The ever-present Pippen was the guy who knocked it free. Sabonis again. Misses the three. Pippen flies in and rebounds. Follows and scores.
That's a great effort by Scottie Pippen. Had the ball, took off from about the three-point line and got to the offensive backboard. A delay a game call now against Portland. First one is a warning. The second one is a technical.
Trailblazers up 11-6. Bryant with the smaller Stoudemire on it. Spins to the baseline, and Ronnie Nunn says, hold on.
Let's take a look at the play. Glenn Rice is going to throw the ball up. It's going to go right towards the basket. Does Shaq hit it? Yes, he does. That should have been offensive goaltending. If they give that basket to Rice, how can they do that with Shaq guiding it in the basket? That has to be offensive goaltending.
Basket stands. Timeout called. 7:38 to play in the first.
Pivotal Game 5 for the Knicks and Pacers. Wednesday, 9 Eastern, NBC.
Harvey. Hey, Ted. That was my last one.
Moving on, guys. He's dry.
Woo! For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Eat it.
Make it a Bud Light.
All right, suckers. Ears up, minds open. Message from Mrs. Jones. What if your loved one only said I love you once every 4 years? What if you had to fly overseas just to find people who knew you? That wouldn't be too cool. Yet that's how y'all treat Michael, Marion, and Maurice. The world's fastest humans. Our track stars need more love. The more, the better. Can you dig it?
With our most advanced four-wheel drive system ever, QuadraDrive, Jeep Grand Cherokee goes where you could encounter anything. So we tested for anything.
every part of your business can now benefit from the internet. Microsoft Windows 2000 was built for the internet. The business internet starts with Microsoft.
The focus here is on Scottie Pippen at age 34 in his 13th year in the league and still capable of doing so many different things well. Here he is on the offensive glass, surrounded by Lakers, and he scores. And the intangibles he brings to the mix, that's part of the reason why Portland acquired him. Part of the reason why Phil Jackson, if they could have worked it out salary-wise under the cap, coveted him here in Los Angeles.
Well, you can see what he's doing. He's talking to his teammates. He's leading. He's directing. Talking to Rasheed Wallace. Talking about how much they need him in the game to stay focused. Keeping him encouraged. And Scottie Pippen off to a great start. The Blazers shooting the ball well, 5 of 10. And they lead here 11-6. It's almost identical now to games 3 and 4 in Portland. Once again, the Blazers have gotten off to a great start.
Here's Ron Harper. Up top to Bryant. AC Green left alone. Misses it badly. Glenn Rice is there to rebound. Ball knocked away from him and cleanly taken by Stoudemire. Rasheed Wallace again against AC Green. And the tip by Scottie Pippen.
Well, we talked about in game 4, he was going to have to come out and put his fingerprints on the game from start to finish. He's doing that right here again. Offensive rebounding, deflections, doing it all here to get him started.
He has 6 of their 13 points. O'Neal, jumper over Sabonis.
That's a tough shot. Sabonis got him out of the lane. He didn't let him lay it in or dunk the basketball, forced him to shoot a shot.
Shaq led the league at 29.7 per game. In the playoffs, he's averaging almost exactly that, 29.5.
Shaquille catches it on the block. Now, you don't want him to come to the middle. You turn him away. Wallace comes over, helps so he can get into the lane. And Sabonis did his job there. That's just a great play by Shaq. That's where he's improved his game, being able to make that little jump shot.
Foul at the other end was Harper's second. And Pippen takes it to the hole after the Blazers inbound. He scored 8. He's disgusted because he didn't get a foul call on top of it. He wanted the three-point play.
Well, they're going right at Kobe. They're forcing him to defend against Pippen, trying to get him in foul trouble. And Scottie right now is getting the best of that battle.
And Joe Crawford stops play at the other end. That's Sabonis' first.
This is what you want a guy with 6 rings to be able to do. All the little intangibles. This is 2 offensive rebounds now that he's put back for scores. Then he posts up against Kobe Bryant. First team all-league defense. He turns, 1 power dribble, and the strong finish.
Harper gets it back from O'Neal and hits the 3. How about this guy?
Well, he was 2 for 10 from the three-point line going into tonight's game, so he is giving them offense that they don't expect from him.
What tonic is he drinking? Sabonis into the paint for Wallace, but a foul on Portland.
And he's got a technical. Joey Crawford gives him a tee. This is a guy you got to get away, Rasheed. You cannot get thrown out of this game tonight. Now who's over there? Scottie Pippen once again. So you got to back away from this.
This is the first technical he's been hit with since he was thrown out in the 3rd quarter of game 1. He played games 2, 3, and 4 without incident.
Sabonis has got to grab him and get him away. He's continuing to talk to Ronnie Nunn. He's inside that three-point line. If he would have missed the free throw, he would have got to shoot another one. You cannot be inside that three-point line when a guy's shooting a free throw. Here's the play. Wallace is going to be posting. See if he gets his arm and pushes off. Right there, he shoves off, creates contact. And then there's the demonstration. I don't know exactly what he said. But again, this is a guy who doesn't have a whole lot of leeway, Bob, with technical fouls. We've seen that already this series.
So his first personal plus the technical. Bryant's spinner is in and out. And here comes Steve Smith with a flip to Scottie Pippen. Scottie on the move against Kobe. Could have been a three-point play.
See, what happens with the Blazers when they stop the Lakers and they don't let him shoot a high percentage? They can do this. They can rebound it and run. Scottie has the ball on the run. This is when he's at his best. Now, when the Lakers shoot a high percentage, Blazers take it out of the basket, walk the ball up the floor, and play against the set defense. That's why the large disparity in the second halves in Portland. The Blazers have not been able to stop them defensively.
Picking up his second foul, he sits, and Brian Shaw, having completed his one-game suspension, checks in for the first time in Game 5. So Kobe scored 2. Pippen is looking for his 10th right here.
So what they're going to do now, they'll move Glenn Rice over on Pippen. And again, you see with Brian Shaw coming in the game, Phil Jackson loves big guards. He's going to keep Derek Fisher on the bench, probably to match up against Greg Anthony.
Pippen goes for the steal, doesn't get it. Harper drives, got up in the air, ball knocked away from him and out of bounds, and the Lakers will keep it.
Big question, Bob. Can the Blazers sustain this kind of energy for 48 minutes? To do so, that bench has got to come in and perform. Exactly what we talked about in the open. The starters are getting it done right now.
A cynic might say the Lakers have them right where they want them. Glenn Rice missed it. Green on the offensive glass. Shaq in the lane. With the left hand no good, and then he can't recover it.
You know, it is amazing the energy that the Blazers start with. They go at Shaq, and it's like he wears their whole team down. Let's see what happens as the game goes on. Does he start converting those?
Wallace against Green. Nice pass underneath to Stoudemire, and he was fouled by Shaw. Another potential three-point play with the ball just barely spilling off the rim. Damon Stoudemire, the 1996 NBA Rookie of the Year when he was with Toronto. Looking for his first points of the night. And you can log on to NBA.com and follow tonight's Lakers-Blazers game with Sync TV, the ultimate online companion to each NBA playoff broadcast. This unique component provides fans with real-time stats, polls, news, and the ability to interact with special guest hosts and other fans online. NBA.com Sync TV, your cutting-edge way to follow NBA Playoffs 2000. Trailblazers by 7. For 3. O'Neal on the offensive glass. Powers it home.
And that's the toughest part about with Shaquille O'Neal. When he's not scoring with primary offense, he's such a powerful offensive rebounder. Bobby's the best offensive rebounder in the league. He can get points that way.
Steve Smith. Jumper against Shaw. They wave it off. Basket doesn't count. Foul before the shot.
There's a lot of different ways in this game to score. You give the ball up and you go to the offensive board. He gets his leg caught up on Sabonis' shoulder. Great balance by Shaq to gather himself the powerful finish. So he's off to a slow start when you talk about 4 points and 2 rebounds. But his presence will be felt as this game goes on. When the Blazers go to their bench, Brian Grant, maybe a Jermaine O'Neal, can they do the job that Sabonis at least can do with his big body up against him? And you can see the bench graphic. What's happened as this series has gone on. Minutes played and total points in the first couple of games. Look what's happened with the Blazers. Then as it's gone on, total minutes, Lakers. Total points, Lakers off the bench. That's what I was talking about. If Portland's strength is that they're deeper, they better show it tonight.
Following a rare free throw miss, Steve Smith hits the second one. Shaw, little hook over Stoudemire.
Whoever Stoudemire is playing, they're going to post him up because they know that the Blazers will have to double team. That's how you get extra shots, extra rebounds, when you get them scrambling on the defensive end.
Stoudemire into the lane, tries to answer with the right hand and missed it by plenty. It's still Portland ball, though.
Ironically, the only game that the Blazers have won in this series, Stoudemire did not score a point. He got in foul trouble, did not score a point, and played only 11 minutes. He would like to show that he can play heavy minutes, and this team can beat the Lakers.
He's got it back from Pippen. Little floater as Shaq comes out at him. Spills off. Here's Shaw again. It rattles out. Rasheed Wallace, who had 13 rebounds on Sunday, pulls that one in. Stoudemire yo-yoing that dribble, then lobbing it for Wallace, who couldn't quite control it. Harper gets into the lane and scores.
Ron Harper. This guy might be playing the best basketball at the right time for the Lakers.
Scottie Pippen with a remarkable shot to switch that ball at the last instant to his left hand while slicing through that kind of traffic and scoring with a chance now for a three-point play.
Well, Ron Harper has gotten off to a great start. This time he beats Steve Smith. Actually, Rasheed Wallace screens his own man off the play, goes to the other side, uses the basket as a shield, scores the 2 points, and then his old championship partner, Scottie Pippen, is not going to let him one-up and pushes the ball right down the Lakers' throat. A powerful and a strong finish. He's got an opportunity for a three-point play.
Pair of beauties back-to-back, and Pippen's 5 for 5 from the floor.
Chrysler Concorde. Sophisticated styling, multi-valve V6, a spacious interior, and automatic respect wherever you park it.
There it is. Let's go.
On the left.
Want to get the coolest stuff in the world? Go to Miller's Get the Goods online auction. Find tons of cool stuff. Plus a chance to help a charity. Details at millergetthegoods.com and wherever you buy Miller Lite.
Don't wait up.
I need my light.
What light?
The light I ordered on your website.
This isn't the website. This is the store site.
You mean I can't get my light?
Not at this site.
Same store, same lights.
Different system, different sites.
I came in here because I thought I might...
Find the same things that were on the website.
Doesn't that seem right?
No, in hindsight, if the site was tied to the website, then it would be easy for us to give you your light. Excellent insight, Dwight.
Forget it.
Good night.
1-800-COLLECT presents Ava Save-A-Lot.
Hey, you in the hat. Who you calling collect, Mom? Or girlfriend?
It's my girlfriend.
Then show her you really care. Dial 1-800-COLLECT, as in collect calls. Got it?
It's easy.
And it saves the people you call at least $1 or $2. Girlfriends love that. Can someone move the truck that's blocking me?
I got it. Mom, I'll call you back.
1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
Sunday, Teresa Weatherspoon and the Eastern champion New York Liberty face Rookie of the Year Shamiqua Holtzclaw and the Washington Mystics. The WNBA on NBC, Sunday.
A while back, Rasheed Wallace was hit with a technical. Moments ago, Mike Dunleavy took the issue up with official Joe Crawford.
Jumps and runs at it. All it is doing is embarrassing, trying to show us up. It's easy. It doesn't have anything to do with Rasheed. It would be Joe Klein. If Joe Klein did.
I know that. All I'm saying is that a call that's a tough call for somebody to take. I mean, the response. I mean, it's just a natural response of who, me.
No, it's not a natural response. It's a what did I do? You're picking on me. It doesn't have anything to do with that, Mike.
Good stuff. Part of the ongoing struggle for Rasheed Wallace to harness his emotions, channel them in a productive way, and get the most out of what is really remarkable talent.
Well, he has been tremendous in this series. Other than the first game where he did get tossed early, he's thrown up big numbers. Had 34 points in Game 4. The win, he had 29 here when they went in the Staples Center. And they can't win without him having a big game. He's got to play big minutes, and he's got to score big points. Scottie's missed 3 free throws here now in the game. Those are big. Instead of a 4-point lead, it could be 7.
He hasn't missed from the floor. 5 for 5. 2 for 5 from the line. Derek Fisher just in. Bounces to Robert Horry. His first shot won't go. Line drive rebound taken by Wallace. Here comes Pippen with plenty of energy. Into the front court. Greg Anthony, his first shot is a 3. Long rebound to Harper.
Now, the bench doing well doesn't necessarily mean they have to come in and score points. What they have to do is defend and then let other things come to themselves. So bench scoring is not necessarily the big key.
O'Neal working on Sabonis. Doesn't get the roll, but Ori grabs the rebound. Back underneath, and in emphatic fashion, O'Neal slams it down.
How athletic is that? I mean, this man, we talk about his power, but his grace, his explosiveness, his ability to catch and finish those plays, that should be illegal.
If he was 6'1" and 190 instead of 7'1" and 325, I think he could still play and play well in the league. Here's Wallace, and he's fouled at the other end.
You see, it's such a tough cover on Shaquille O'Neal because you got to try to take his position away, and when he feels you, he rolls off of you. I played against a guy, all the great Knicks fans will remember Earl Monroe, who used to do that all the time. Now, not dunk, but he would feel your body and spin off of you to get that quick little jump shot. Great players feel you defensively and go to an open area.
How sweet was Earl the Pearl's game?
It wasn't sweet when I was guarding him. That was a nightmare.
Different perspective.
Yes, I had a look that I did not want to have.
Rasheed Wallace is averaging 23 points a game in this series. This despite being thrown out midway through quarter number 3 of game 1. A minute and a half remaining in the first. Wallace trying to give Portland a 4-point lead.
The free throw attempts here are big tonight. When Portland won the game in here, they were 35 for 45, shot 25 free throws in the first half. Here they shot 11 already in this first period, only 1 for the Lakers. That was on the technical free throw.
O'Neal from Ori. Ori clears the boards. Shaq's got it back. The ball is knocked away, and there's no foul apparently. It's just Laker ball out of bounds. And incredulous O'Neal is helped to his feet.
He just cleans out space inside. That's actually a good play by Scottie. He got that ball on the way up, knocked it loose, and then you see the sense of urgency in the Blazers and Scottie Pippen knowing that every loose ball can be the difference between winning and losing tonight.
And now Jermaine O'Neal, a forgotten man in game 4, comes in for Sabonis.
Now, I like this substitution because he's bigger than Brian Grant. At least he maybe can block a shot or play up against him. Brian Grant is just so overmatched. Maybe Brian Grant can come in as a power forward and be more effective.
There is Brian Grant, still awaiting his chance. O'Neal played about 3 seconds before picking up his first foul. Laker ball out of bounds. And again, they look for O'Neal. Fisher, Harper, left all alone. Shaq grabs the rebound. Again.
Soft hands, quick off his feet, got up a second time faster than anybody from the Blazers.
Steve Smith. Out to Jermaine O'Neal. There's contact, and the block is on Harper. And that'll be 3 on Ron Harper.
When you block Shaq off the boards, you can't back into him. You have to turn and face guard him and try to push him out of there. Now watch, a little piece there. Jermaine O'Neal gets a touch on it, but Shaq right back up again. But when you play against Shaq, Bob, you cannot conventionally block him out. You got to turn and face guard him and try to get him out of the lane. You're just not strong enough to be able to hold your position against him. He will walk you underneath the basket.
Let's check with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Talking to Scottie Pippen about Jermaine O'Neal. Scottie says Jermaine O'Neal is one of the toughest players that they have on this entire team. He said during practice, nobody can handle him. He said that in order for them to try to beat the Lakers tonight, Jermaine O'Neal was going to have to put in big minutes. And he said what he can do is make Shaq work on the other end. And also, on the other end, he's got such good defensive ability. On that last shot, you saw that Jermaine O'Neal at least got a piece of that first shot that Shaq took. Bob?
And Ahmad, just to follow that up, he has speed and he can make Shaq run the floor too.
Fisher had it squirt out of his hands. Anthony grabs it. Scottie Pippen takes it home. And let's see if the basket's going to count.
They called the offensive foul on Scottie Pippen. The question was going to be, was the he beats Kobe, or he is standing there outside the little dotted line area. That's a good play. You can see, though, Scottie is attacking the basketball every time he gets the basketball.
Shot clock and game clock close to identical. And a whistle from Ronnie Nunn. That foul is Greg Anthony's first. So Derek Fisher will shoot a couple. Fourth-year man from Arkansas Little Rock connects tomorrow night on Dateline. They're the most exclusive and expensive cars on the market, but can they handle the crash test? Find out if you're paying for safety or just luxury. Dateline NBC, Wednesday night at 8, 7 Central on NBC.
We can already see some changes in what Mike Dunleavy's thoughts are. He comes in with Jermaine O'Neal. It's his first substitution. Jermaine O'Neal must sit down now with fouls. Detlef Schrempf now in the game. He did not play at all in Game 4. And this is a guy who's been to the finals when he's with Seattle, and he can give them something off the bench. We still have not seen Bryant Grant in the game yet. We'll probably see him maybe to start the second quarter, especially now that Shaq sits down. Let's see if Bryant Grant comes into the game. This is when he could be effective.
Fisher trying to draw the Lakers to within 2, and he does.
And you can see also the matchup. The moment Anthony came in the game, so did Fisher. So both coaches want them matched up against each other.
Anthony on the move. Already got a piece of it. And a foul on the play, which comes with 2.7 seconds to play in the first. It's Glenn Rice's second. Bonzi Wells getting set to check in. Greg Anthony, he and his wife Crystal recently welcomed their first child, a son they named Cole, after the jazz great John Coltrane. Kobe back in, saddled with a couple of fouls.
2.7 seconds to go. Obviously, they'd like to maybe throw down here long to Kobe, see if he could catch, maybe get a quick shot against Steve Smith.
Anthony missed. Ball poked free. Fisher heaves it at the buzzer. And meanwhile, over on the Portland bench, they're looking at Scottie Pippen, who had a big first quarter. But they've got an ice bag on the inside of his left leg.
That's when he fell. I think he fell on his hand, Bob. They're looking at his hand right now. That's when they took the charge. Free throws attempts were great for Blazers. 15 in that quarter. They made 9, 6 misses.
It could have been more. Instead, it's just a 2-point Blazer lead. These are the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Right now, when you choose from the lowest price minivan to the ultimate, you can get $1,500 to $1,750 cash allowance, or 1.9 financing on a new Chrysler Town & Country, and the popular Voyager. Now get $1,500 to $1,750 cash allowance or 1.9 financing on all new minivans at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer today.
Every player has a weakness. Tonight, Mr. Grant Hill's weakness takes center court.
There's only one place to go for the irresistible taste of America's favorite fries. Did somebody say McDonald's?
The Canon Rebel 2000. When circumstances change, you'll know how to turn a snapshot into a photograph. It's that simple.
Now that's creative.
The Rebel 2000 from Canon.
You meet a lot of nice people on the job.
You know, restaurant Prudential, your wheel has a little tilt to it. I bring the computer with me to every stop that I go.
That's neat. You bring everything with you.
You don't want to keep the people waiting. You want to get out there for them right away.
I think I'm getting a very good value with Prudential. I'm very happy with how quickly they come right out, look at my car, and cut me a check on the spot. Great.
Lunch break.
Sitting at a red light and bang.
How is everyone okay? At Prudential, we just want to have a happy customer. We want to get their vehicle repaired and back on the road immediately.
Blazers by 2 as we get ready to start the second period. Let's take a look here. How did Scottie Pippen hurt his hand? This is the penetrating drive against Kobe. Robert Horry takes the charge. You see Scottie falls on the left arm as he tries to brace himself. Looks at his hand. Looks like the last couple fingers you see are taped on his hand already. He's in pain. Now, why is this important? Because Scottie's gotten off to a tremendous start. The offensive rebound and the score. Doing everything here early in the attack mode. Another offensive rebound and the tip in for Scottie Pippen. Pokes up against Kobe, attacks early, drives the ball, gets the power dunk. Now the big key here, I think, as we look at Scottie Pippen, we forget that he's 34 years old and all the games that he's played in the playoffs. He's off to a great start. This is where the bench has to help him so that he can get a little rest, so he can help the Blazers finish this game. Bob, he expended so much energy in game 3 and 4 that at the end of those games he had really nothing, especially on the offensive end. They need him in his fourth quarter.
Bonzi Wells in for the first time, gives it up to Detlef Schrempf. Rasheed Wallace. Horry guarding him. Wallace takes it to the bucket. Tries to tap up his own miss on the third try. There's no doubt about it.
Great effort by Rasheed Wallace. 3 efforts on that one play to finally get the score. The thing I like about it, he finished it off with 2 hands. Went up and got it and mashed it in the basket.
Surveying the situation, gives it up to Fisher. Cross court to Bryant. Off the dribble against Bonzi Wells for the jumper. Rebound Wallace.
Now Portland wants to run. They want to run against this Laker offense. This one defense. This is when they can score.
Bonzi Wells and Joe Crawford spots a foul. Looks like it's on Rick Fox.
Rasheed loves to post on this side of the floor because he can spin baseline and try to finish it. The second effort, then the third effort, 2 hands, and the power finish. So Rasheed Wallace once again going to work on that low block.
Bonzi Wells guarded by Kobe on the drive, lays it in. That's his first field goal since game 2. He had 17 in the opener, 12 in game 2, 0 for 6 from the floor in the 2 games in Portland.
Well, with Kobe having 2 fouls, they're going to make him guard, and they're going to make Bonzi Wells post up down there. We saw it with Stacey Augmon earlier in the series. Kobe's going to have to play with these fouls.
Derek Fisher playing with more confidence of late. No hesitation. He drills the 3. And it's the Blazers by 3. Rasheed Wallace hit it. Before the game, he was standing in that very spot, and I watched him hit 9 in a row from that very spot. No doubt in his mind it was going to be catch and shoot there.
Well, he made 8 all season long out of 50. Remember now, 3 in a row in game 2 to break the game open in that third period.
Rick Fox answers with a 3 of his own.
How about the shooting of Shaw, Fisher, and Fox off the bench? 44% from 3 from Shaw, 40 from Fisher, and 50% from Fox. They are shooting the ball exceptionally well.
Bonzi Wells, Fisher over to help. He strips him, but a foul.
Now, who's the foul on? Is it on Fisher? Is it on Kobe? That could be really important if it's Kobe's third. I think they're going to call it on Fisher. Just the unbelievable ability of Rasheed Wallace. Inside, outside, he buries the 3. And then Fox comes right back with the answer. He has played exceptionally well off the bench. In game 3, it was his defense. In game 4 and tonight, he's given them some timely shooting.
The NBA Finals 2000 on NBC. Coming soon.
Wow. Yes,
Friday, was that for me?
Go, okay.
All right, watch suction, please. I need 10 cc's of adrenaline. 10 cc's. He's ready. Get the crash cart. Stand, Georgie. Right, cows. I got it.
The cold-filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft.
Thanks.
Our boy's back.
Never miss a genuine opportunity.
Introducing the remarkably agile, entirely new 2001 Aurora by Oldsmobile. It can't escape praise, but it can outmaneuver it. Aurora by Oldsmobile.
What would you do with a crystal face able to withstand 2 tons of unadulterated pressure? Or a tachometric scale so precise it can survive 240-degree heat? What would you do with the world-renowned Alpha Expedition timepiece?
Well, you'd probably just use it to tell time. And at $6,500, that watch could cost you over $30,000 in retirement savings. We just thought you should know. Ask a financial advisor about Sun America, the retirement specialist.
The FBI's top cop is on a stakeout.
I've gone undercover as Big Mama.
Hi, Big Mama.
Damn, you fine.
This summer, Martin Lawrence
I forgot my keys.
is living extra large.
Ooh, Mama.
Yeah?
What's that?
That's just my flashlight.
Big Mama's house.
Is there another flashlight under there?
Rated PG-13. Friday only in theaters.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Miller Lite. The coolest stuff in the world is at Miller's Get the Goods Online auction. By Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile dealers. By Net Zero, defenders of the free world. Free internet access forever. Call 1-800-DEFENDER. And by Nike.
For the season, Rasheed Wallace was 8 for 50 on three-point attempts, as you said, Doug. In this series, he's now 5 for 8. Go figure.
Well, I think it just shows you how much talent this young man has. That's what we always talk about, how important he is to his team. We see all facets of his game. And when he's on like that, he's got to go up with 2 hands. But we saw that in game 4. You go up with 1 hand, you can't guide it. Get 2 and finish it.
Robert Ory. The touch hasn't been there for him since game 1. He was sizzling in the opener. He really hasn't found his outside shooting range since, but he's contributed in other ways. Here's Detlef Schrempf. Ory got a piece of him. Schrempf tried to finish. He'll shoot 2.
The previous play, Rasheed tries to make this play with 1 hand. Go up with 2 and finish it. You see how he loses the grip of the basketball as he tries to catch it in 1 hand and finish? We saw it in game 4 in a critical situation too. 2 hands, power finish.
Detlef Schrempf, twice the NBA's 6th man of the year in 91 and 92. A 3-time All-Star. Spent the last 6 seasons with the Sonics. Stayed in the Pacific Northwest, moving over to the Trailblazers. In his 15th year at age 37, he makes them both, and the Blazers lead by 5.
The Blazers have been the aggressors. 11 for 17 from the free throw line. The Lakers only 3 of 3.
Fisher looking for Shaq. Instead puts it on the floor and goes to Kobe for the jumper. The rebounder, Rasheed Wallace. Here's Detlef Schrempf in transition. Has a good look at a 3 if he wants it. Instead goes deep to Bonzi Wells, who almost lost it. Now he has it back for an unguarded jumper that's good.
Boy, that's a big basket. Bonzi Wells really struggled in Portland as the Lakers clamped down on him. They double-teamed him. They swarmed him around the post. For the first 2 games this series, it averaged almost 15 points a game off the bench.
His three-pointer has made it an 8-point bulge. That's the biggest lead the Blazers have enjoyed. Phil Jackson not enjoying it, asked for a timeout, which comes with 8 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the first half. And you're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Introducing the remarkably agile, entirely new 2001 Aurora by Oldsmobile. It can't escape praise, but it can outmaneuver it. Aurora by Oldsmobile.
I'm serious. Whenever guys find out I have a cat, they freak.
You kidding me? I love cats.
Of course, my cat's not like other cats.
Well, I'm sure he isn't.
He gets so jealous if anyone drinks my Bud Light. Anyway, I'll get changed.
You're right. Stupid cats.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Look at you, too.
Make it a Bud Light.
My name is David, and I'm in 4th grade. Today, my schoolmates and I went to a reading workshop. I was really excited because Keith Van Horn from the New Jersey Nets was there. He was a lot taller than I thought. Keith explained how important reading is and how fun it can be. I already like to read, but he showed me that reading is cool, too. Today was a good day.
Tiger Woods. In February at famed Pebble Beach, a remarkable comeback earned him his 6th straight PGA Tour victory, the most since Ben Hogan in 1948. Now he returns to Pebble Beach in hopes of capturing one prize that's always eluded him, golf's greatest championship, the U.S. Open, beginning June 15th on NBC.
Ahmad Rashad back at the Staples Center where the Blazers lead the Lakers 38-30. Earlier, Scottie Pippen suffered an injury to his left hand. He dislocated the ring finger of his left hand. He has since been putting ice on it, but he will return in the game. Bob?
But just from looking at that shot, you can see how, at least for the moment, it's very painful.
Well, I think the most important thing, Scottie played the first 12 minutes. The Blazers are up 2 at the end of 1. Scottie has been on the bench this entire period, although we've only played about a little over 4 minutes, a little under 4 minutes, Bob. And their plus-minus is 6. So right now, with him sitting down, the Blazers have increased their lead. That's a very positive sign.
Shaquille O'Neal, little hook over Sabonis is short. Touched last by the Lakers. Wells has to try and save it in, but nothing but Lakers on the receiving end.
That's a bad pass by Detlef Schrempf trying to throw it in the post.
Derek Fisher's 3 pops out. Schrempf back into Wells. Cross court to Sabonis. Touch pass to Anthony. Sabonis has it back. And that laser jumper stays down.
Well, getting off to a slow start, 1 of 4, hits the outside jumper. Again, the importance of that, you got to get Shaq out of the paint.
Kobe Bryant challenges Schrempf, and Schrempf fouls him.
It's so important for Sabonis to hit this jump shot, and we've talked about it the entire series. But Shaquille O'Neal, you see him right here. He's not coming out. So this is a shot that Sabonis has got to make. When he makes that, Shaq has to come out. When he does, driving lanes for the Blazers to get to the rim. That's how important that is.
That was just Kobe Bryant's 3rd point. He had a big game 3. He made 11 of 18. The other 3 games prior to this one, a combined 11 for 33. So offensively, he's been off his game in this series.
Well, I think he's been expected to do so much, too, for this team. He makes plays for them. He guards Scottie Pippen. He's got to be the initial guy in their offense. But he made the big play at the right time. He trusted his teammate when he found Harper, and that's been the deciding moment of this series right now.
Pippen back in, trying to forget the pain of that dislocated finger. Trying to dump a pass in the post, and Ori, who's been a good defender in this series, makes the interception. Into Shaq, spinning on Sabonis. They wave it off. No basket. The foul is on Schrempf rather than Sabonis. Number 2 on Detlef.
Steve Smith back in the game for Bonzi Wells, who gave them a nice little lift off the bench. But one of the things the Blazers cannot do, and we've seen it in the series, they've gotten a lead and they've gotten careless. They've turned the ball over, and when they do, the Lakers have been able to capitalize. Points off turnovers has been a big key for the Lakers to win the 3 games that they have.
Rick Fox lets it go. He tries to follow and can't. Now it's Shaq's turn. And he was fouled. Number 2 on Arvydas Sabonis. So now, for the first time in this game, Shaq will have a chance to show off his newfound free throw shooting prowess. He was 9 for 9 in Game 4. He's made 12 in a row dating back to Game 3. It's not unprecedented for him, though. Twice, when he was with Orlando, he hit 12 for 12 in a single game. And just for the sake of perspective, Wilt Chamberlain, who statistically was a worse shooter over the course of his career than Shaquille O'Neal has been in his, the night Wilt scored 100 points in 1962, he was 28 of 32 from the free throw line. Which didn't signal the end of his woes as a free throw shooter. It was just a great night. But here, look.
He's going to continue to have his up and down, Bob. There's no question about that. But right now he's making them, and that really discourages the Blazers, because in a late game situation, they're going to make him make some free throws if it's close.
Here's Rasheed Wallace. Can't quiet the crowd. How often does a pair of free throws bring a crowd to its feet, as those two did? Here's Horry. That might have brought the roof off. Pippen. Detlef Schrempf. Got it for Portland.
See, Detlef Schrempf has the ability, because he can shoot the ball, to give you that little up fake. You have to guard him, and then he can take it to the basket, and a little floating finish. That's a nice play.
LA has missed its last 7 shots from the floor. O'Neal rectifies that.
Is this not a carbon copy of what we saw in Portland? The slow starts by Shaq, and just little by little, he gets you deeper and deeper in the post and starts wearing you out in there.
Steve Smith slings it to Schrempf. Baseline Rasheed Wallace. Kobe takes it, and here come the Lakers. Taken away from him by Pippen. It's 1-on-2, and it was touched last by the Lakers.
Kobe very upset with himself. He makes a lazy pass. You cannot do that around a guy who's second all-time in steals in playoff competition. Looks like Scottie here, when he put that ball in his left hand where it was dislocated, that he had a trouble handling the basketball. We'll have to watch that. Remember, the first time he came in, he made a bad pass. So that could be very tender as this game wears on.
John Sally's going to come in, replacing Shaquille O'Neal. For a moment, Robert Horry thought he was going out, and Sally reached back and grabbed him and said, "Stay here." How do you figure this?
He looks like he's a little winded right now. I think Phil's going to give him an opportunity to catch his breath. Let's see if Brian Grant, now into the game for the first time, can get on those offensive boards. Another turnover here by the Blazers. That's really killed them in this series.
Rick Fox will try it again and miss it. Another rebound for Scottie Pippen, who seems, as always, to be everywhere. Grant. Jumper over Horry, no good, but Sabonis is there to tip it in. How much different is the paint when Shaq isn't there?
Well, it's so different, and that time Sally comes over to block the shot also, Bob, and right there Sabonis goes and gets the easiest basket he's had in a long while.
Since Utah.
Yes.
Bryant, a step inside the three-point line, no good. Smith ran over Fisher. And an offensive foul.
Here's Sabonis right here. Now watch what happens as Sally goes over to try to block this shot. When he turns in, nobody there to block out Sabonis. A little tippy-toe tip in there for 2.
John Sally out, and Shaquille O'Neal, a very brief rest, back in.
Brief, I guess. Shaq wants to play all 48. He doesn't want to sit over there. He'd like to get this series over. He gets 8 days rest if they win tonight.
Forget about catching your breath. Can you even wipe the sweat off in 52 seconds? Play stopped as there was a wristband or something on the floor. Lakers trail by 8 as they put it back in. O'Neal's pass intended for Bryant goes astray. Portland tries to inbound quickly.
Now Sabonis has got to stay out, so if Shaq helps, he can spot up and shoot this little jump shot.
Steve Smith. Shaq comes over to deflect it. Kobe Bryant pushed it up short. Nothing but black shirts underneath.
Kobe's out of sync on the offensive end. Going too quickly tonight.
Contact between Rice and Schrempf off the ball. And that's number 3 on Glenn Rice.
Shaquille O'Neal is right here. He's going to go back. He's got to keep his spacing, and then Steve Smith has got to be able to swing that ball out to him. Sabonis will be wide open for that jump shot. They've got to make Shaq pay for going back in that lane and guarding back in there and blocking shots.
Phil Jackson has to get Glenn Rice out, replacing him with Rick Fox. Steve Smith back to Sabonis for 3. A whistle as he let it go. And it goes against the Trailblazers.
It's going to be an offensive foul on Steve Smith as he gave the basketball up to Sabonis shooting a 3. He pushed off. So again, the turnover starting to mount. He posts up Fisher and then hooks him with that left arm going to the boards. Fisher, one of the best in the league at getting position, drawing the offensive fouls, and he does a great job of drawing it to the referee's attention.
And he'll come to the free throw line. Kobe is just 1 for 7 from the floor in this game.
I don't like the rhythm that Kobe's playing with. He's going for the knockout punch in the first quarter and a half, and that has not been the Lakers' style. The Lakers' style has been take the Blazers' best shot, hang in there, and then really go at them strong in the second half. I think Kobe is just a little out of sync right now.
The foul was Brian Grant's first. If you take out Game 3, with the exception of that fine shooting performance in Game 3, counting what he's done so far in Game 5, Kobe is 12 for 40.
Well, remember now, in Game 1, they didn't need his offense because Shaq had the big game where he went for 41. So that game, he was not needed to take a whole lot of shots, only took 9. Actually, in the first 2 games, took a total of 18 before he came out and doubled that with 18 in Game 3, where he really kept him in the game in that first half.
Brian Grant's open. That's the shot he wasn't eager to take in Portland, but he didn't hesitate here.
Well, they need him because he's really the guy who gives them the energy and spirit. But what a matchup for him to try to play against Shaquille O'Neal.
Terry Durham spots something and stops play with 2:56 to play in the half. And that's number 2 on Steve Smith. It's Portland by 8.
All right, suckers, ears up, minds open. Mrs. Jones is transmitting. Why are our sisters making less when they're busting their butts to the max? I'm speaking of pro women athletes. Are they playing any less hard than the fellas? Is their blood any less red? Whether it's tennis, track, or hoops, their sacrifice is the same. Yet women receive less. They deserve more. The more, the better. Free your mind and your game will follow. Can you dig it?
Dr. Pepper, you make the world taste better, yeah. You make the world go around and round. You pick it up, you can't put it down. Dr. Pepper, you make the world taste better.
Now get DirecTV and get 2 months of 32 premium movie channels. And you'll also get 25 specialty sports networks free. There's something for everyone, so what's not to like? DirecTV, now with local channels.
Hi, everybody. Hannah Storm in New York. Coming up on Net Zero at the half, we'll hear from the Knicks' Larry Johnson. In Patrick Ewing's absence, Johnson has been a big key in both Knick wins over Indiana in the Eastern Conference Finals. Johnson talked about being a pacer killer.
Well, you know, it just started Jim with one shot, and that's the 4-point play last year. And, you know, I hit a couple good ones after that. Fifth game up there, I hit a couple threes that really finished the game off. And, you know, on to this year. And I hope if we get by these guys, whoever next, I'll be considered a killer for them too.
Johnson with 25 points in the Knicks' Game 4 victory. His conversation with Jim Gray coming up at halftime. Let's go back to L.A. and rejoin Bob, Doug, and Ahmad.
Hannah, thanks very much. Portland has led at halftime of the last few games. It didn't work out well for them in games 3 and 4 in Portland.
Well, you look at the numbers right now for the Lakers. They're 13 of 41 from the field, so they're shooting miserably. The two things that are keeping them in the game right now, they have 10 offensive rebounds, so they're getting second shots. They're also 9 of 9 from the free throw line, so something that has not been good to them, the free throw line during the course of the season, is keeping them around. And this is exactly the position they've been in the last 2 games. Gone in at halftime down in both games, came out and had huge third quarters to turn the game in their favor.
Fisher hits them both and makes it a 6-point game. If Portland is able to win here, Game 6 would be Friday in Portland. Bryant Grant's open, and he hits again.
2 confident shots. Maybe not putting him in early against Shaq, putting Jermaine O'Neal in, letting him come in has relaxed him a little bit.
And when he first came in, Shaq wasn't on the floor. Ori. And Grant has the rebound. Here's Rasheed Wallace over Robert Ori. It's short.
Nobody on the boards with that shot. When Rasheed took it, you got to get people giving you a chance for a second shot.
O'Neal lays it off to Ori, who gives it to Bryant. Returning it to Ori for the jumper. That rattles out. Robert Ory's 0 for 6 from the floor. Wallace again for 3. Bryant Grant battling on the offensive glass but can't control it. Rick Fox does.
I don't like that shot that time by Rasheed Wallace. Get inside, attack.
All Bryant Grant can do is wrap Shaquille O'Neal up as he catches the pass.
You know, even though Rasheed Wallace is shooting a high percentage out there, you don't want to fall in love with that three-point line. Continue to get inside. Get to that free throw line. That's what has been good to you. The Lakers know they can't match him inside on that block.
Now riding a string of 14 consecutive free throws made, Shaquille O'Neal, who has given himself about 24 nicknames this year, has taken to calling himself of late 15 straight. The Big Maravich in tribute to fellow LSU great Pete Maravich. But I think he's dissing you, Doug. We checked, and Maravich shot 82% from the line for his career. Why isn't he calling himself the Big Collins? Well, Doug Collins, 83%.
I went to ISU, not LSU, so I don't think Shaq knew about me.
But you got Pistol Pete by a percentage point, and finally Shaq's streak is broken at 15. Nice pass from Wallace to Grant, who overpassed it. He should have taken that shot, and instead they turn it over.
Again, costly turnovers. Let's see if the Lakers capitalize once again.
Shaq against the doubler, misses. Ori kept it alive and taps it now to Bryant.
A frenetic pace here.
O'Neal overpowers Grant.
See, for the Blazers, they really have dominated this entire half. And you look up, they're up 5 points right now. Big minute here to finish.
Scottie Pippen had it knocked away. Here comes Fisher. Bullet ahead to Kobe. 1-on-3, and Wallace wrapped him up. What's up with that? Both teams are over the limit.
Shaquille O'Neal is right here, and just keep your eye on him. He's going to come to the post. Look how deep he catches it. When he is right there, you cannot guard him. So Bryant has got to play him before he gets the basketball. I don't know why Rasheed Wallace took that foul. It was a 1-on-3 break that you talked about, Bob. Defend the play. You basically just give him 2 points here.
I can't figure it.
That's where your teammates got to be behind you, and they've got to be yelling to you. You've got help. You've got help. Don't foul.
20-second timeout. We'll be right back.
Introducing the remarkably agile, entirely new 2001 Aurora by Oldsmobile. It can't escape praise, but it can outmaneuver it. Aurora by Oldsmobile.
Doug, in the first quarter, you were talking about Portland shooting 9 of 15 from the foul line. In this period, turnovers have plagued them. The Lakers have shot 4 of 18 as a team from the floor in the second quarter, and yet Portland leads by only 4. They may live to regret this.
It's those careless turnovers. For whatever reason, you see Scottie Pippen holding his hand. And Bob, I've watched him now as he has come back from getting his hand hurt. He has not taken a shot from the field, but more importantly, I've seen him mishandle the ball 3 times in this period. Normally, Scottie does not make those kind of errors.
Lead is 3. Nice pass from Wallace inside, and a whistle as it's received by Pippen. An illegal defense was called against the Lakers. Shaq was illegal on the play.
Well, Mike Dunleavy, after Game 4 in Portland, was really complaining that Shaq was illegal a lot in that game, and it was not called.
As good as he is, in a sense, he should be illegal.
That's right.
Here's Wallace. He's pretty good, too.
You see why you don't want him shooting those long jump shots. He can get that shot when he wants to. If they double, kick it out, and somebody will shoot a wide-open jump shot. Let him go through you offensively.
But when you've made 5 of 8 threes, including your last one in this game, you kind of fall in love with it, right?
That 3 becomes an insidious thing.
Kobe Bryant slices through and lost it.
Good
no foul call.
Good by Scottie, though. He looked up at the clock. He said, let's get the last shot. The worst thing we do is go in 5, maybe 7 or 8 here.
Shrimp, only a couple of seconds. Scottie's got to get it away for 3. Oh, how big is that?
His first shot of the period. He buries a 3. What a momentum here for the Blazers. While the shot is in the air, the halftime horn sounds instead of a 5-point lead in 8. It's all created by the penetration of Shrimp. He makes the great pass. The Lakers collapse. Scottie, the ball gets in the air. It's a clean shot. He knocks it down. Has something to say to the fans behind him. But if this ball is in the air, the horn is going to sound. A big 8-point halftime lead here for the Blazers.
And speaking of Scottie, he's with Ahmad.
All right, thank you, Bob. Scottie, you guys have been in this situation before. Can you feel a little comfortable?
No, not at all. I mean, we got to come out the second half and play the way we did the first half. Be aggressive, take the ball to the basket, and stay aggressive defensively. We tend to slack off a little bit in the second half, so it's going to be up to me to go ahead and get these guys ready to go to the second half.
And your fingers, I understand you dislocated both your fingers, 2 fingers on your left hand?
Yeah, I dislocated them on that layup that they gave me the charging foul on, which, you know, I felt like he was inside the dot, but, you know, the officials make the call and they're not going to change it.
Is it affecting your ball handling or your shooting?
No, I don't think so. It hasn't yet. I'm trying to take the ball to the basket, so it shouldn't affect no layups.
All right, Scottie. Good luck in the second half. All right, back to you, Bob.
Ahmad, thanks a lot. Coming up next, Hannah Storm, Isaiah Thomas, Peter Vesey, and Eddie Johnson, our special guest in our New York studio, with Net Zero at the half. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. Marion Jones, a big story already, even before she pursues the 5 gold medals in Sydney with commercials like that and her work as a DJ in those various spots. Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Phil Jackson telling his team at halftime they're not shooting the ball. They got to take the ball at the basket, be more aggressive, and also remember what happened the last time they were here in L.A. That's when Portland blew them out 28-8 in the third quarter. Mike Dunleavy telling his team they got to rebound, be more aggressive, and also stop shooting themselves in the foot with turnovers. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. Here we go. Quarter number 3. Arvydas Sabonis lets fly and starts it in fine fashion for the Trailblazers. He was just a step inside the arc. It's a 2-point basket and a 10-point Portland lead.
And a great start for the Blazers. You want to see Sabonis knocking that shot down again to open that lane up. Just to follow up with Ahmad, the Lakers took 13 3-point shots in the first half. They normally average 13 per game.
Kobe Bryant still can't find the mark. It bounces out of play. Portland ball.
Kobe got a couple early fouls, and I thought in that first half he really went fast. He was out of the tempo that he normally played with, almost trying to hit the knockout punch there in that first or second quarter.
Kobe is 1 for 8. Sabonis thought about the hook, then realized who was guarding him. Here's Pippen. Rebound Bryant, and then Rice scoops it up.
Mike Dunleavy's going to really have to manage this second half. No surges for the Lakers. He's going to have to use his timeouts wisely.
AC Green. It's short. Harper tried to save it and did off the body of Stoudemire.
Now only 2 seconds on the shot clock. They love to throw a lob to Shaq. If you help out, they'll put Green, Rice in the corner to shoot a 3, or Shaq right into the basket for a lob.
And it goes to Kobe from the baseline, and he beats the buzzer.
Just overpowered Stoudemire. Just come right to the basket. Just too big.
And maybe the J that he needs to get him going. Sabonis screening for Stoudemire. Now he has it back. Sabonis, left 3 by Shaq. Misses it. And as Pippen goes after the offensive rebound, Ronnie Nunn says, stay right here. The foul is on Kobe Bryant. That'll be 3.
Bob, one of the things we've seen tonight is Scottie has really been active on those offensive boards. He had 2 in the first half. Both of them he stuck back for layups.
Pippen working on Bryant, knowing he's nearing foul trouble. Ball squirted free, but Sabonis has it. He tries the hook, and that's the first time that I can recall in this series that he's been able to do that.
Yeah, we don't see it more. Normally he just sort of sits out there and shoots that jump shot. I think he's concerned that Shaq can block that little running hook shot because he doesn't get great lift on his jump.
And the few times he has tried it prior to that, it has been shoved back in his face. 5 seconds to shoot. Kobe will for 3. Don't let him get started if you're Portland.
Well, you made a great point. At the end of that shot clock, he hits a jumper. You talk about him being a rhythm shooter. He shot that one with great confidence.
Stoudemire gets in, but Harper says get it out. Pippen picks it up.
That's going to be Kobe's 4th foul.
Could be. And it is.
Well, this really hurts because Kobe finally got into the flow offensively. The save by Ron Harper squares him up and again shoots over the smaller Stoudemire. So 5 quick points. Phil Jackson leaving him in the game, but he slides down now to play Stoudemire with 4 fouls.
In the first 2.5 minutes of the second half, Kobe has made a couple of baskets, but also tacked on a couple of fouls. And another foul against L.A. This time it's AC Green who's the guilty party. That's his first.
Now why is Bonzi Wells coming in the game? I'll tell you why. They're not going to let Kobe Bryant hide. See, he wouldn't have to play Stoudemire in the post. He's going to have to play Bonzi Wells down there, so they're going to go right to him in the post. Remember, with foul trouble before, Stacey Augmon, one of the games, really punished him down there.
So here is Bonzi, taking it into the paint, spinning and missing. Harper rebounds. Pippen and Bonzi Wells all over him. And a Portland foul. It's Bonzi, and it's his first.
Now, one of the things that Bonzi Wells is going to do, they're probably going to double team him. So when he gets down there, he's going to have to be able to pass out of those double teams, not look strictly for his own scoring.
Lakers trail by 7. Glenn Rice. Wallace got a piece of the ball, but also a piece of his body.
Remember now, game 4, Phil Jackson came out of halftime. We're going to run a primary play here, and we're going to get Glenn Rice a jump shot. He curled in the lane and got a three-point play. We played a little over 3 minutes. Rice finally gets his first possession here. He's going to get to the free throw line, and he really struggled in that first half at 1 of 4.
And that's just his 4th point.
Well, look what he's done in the series. Game 1, they win decisively. He has 15. They get beat in game 2. He struggles. Game 3, another quiet game. But game 4, just at the right time, especially he and Ron Harper combined for 39 points, which is the real difference with Kobe and Shaq struggling.
He misses the second one. Scottie Pippen threw a crowd out to Steve Smith for 3. AC Green has it. Lakers can cut it to 4 with a basket here.
I'm really shocked that Kobe's still in the game right now with 4 fouls, and they're within 6 points. If he gets the 5th, that could really be a blow to the Lakers. Phil must have a lot of trust in him right now, Bob.
Shaq out of the double to Harper. Contact, no whistle. Touch last by Portland.
I guess with a 3-1 lead, you can take more chances, right?
Phil's been known to do some unorthodox things. And a sizable percentage of them seem to work out. O'Neal off the dribble. And play is stopped for a Portland foul. It's Sabonis, and it's his 3rd.
Remember now, in game 4, the Lakers shot 31 for 34 from the free throw line, and Sally missed 2 of those free throws late in the game. Tonight, there are 14 of 15 here in the first half, so what was a weakness has been a strength in these last couple games. It won game 4 and is keeping them in this game.
Pippen out on Kobe. Here's Harper driving on Wallace and laying it in. Pippen tried to set up and take the charge against his old teammate, and the officials weren't buying.
Well, Joey Crawford was kind there. That would have been a block on Pippen because he was in the dotted area, so it was a no call.
Bonzi Wells out to Sabonis. Good look at it, and he puts it down.
The double team by Shaq. He comes over to help Kobe because they go in the post and they got to protect him with fouls. Sabonis comes right over behind the basketball. You kick it out and he makes it. Now that's 3 baskets he's made in this quarter to keep Shaq at least thinking about it. But look, Shaq is helping. Sabonis works right over in the vision of the passer, and he buries the jump shot. Gives the Blazers a 6-point lead with 7:36 here to go in the 3rd period.
Pivotal Game 5 for the Knicks and Pacers. Wednesday, 9 Eastern, NBC.
It was the play that ended one football dynasty and started another. The receiver leaped in the end zone, reached out his fingertips, and the ball was there. They still call it the catch, but before there could be the catch, somebody had to throw the pass. Joe Montana.
Expect more from an original Coors, brewed a mile high.
Original Coors. Don't pass one up.
Love at first sight. What's that based on? Have you ever looked at someone and said, check her out, she looks loyal? Or, whoa, look at the morals on that guy. No, love at first sight is based on something else. Sight.
I see you, baby. Shaking that thing.
The 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse, nicely equipped at 17.7. You'll even love what's on the inside.
How many men does Cornwallis have under his command?
12,000 redcoats.
This war will be fought among our homes. Our children will learn of it with their own eyes. Boys, steady. You really expect to stop him?
Not me. You.
On June 28th, a family. Might I request, sir, that you transfer my son here under my command?
No war could divide.
I'll come back. I promise.
Mel Gibson, The Patriot, rated R. Opens everywhere June 28th.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? By Mitsubishi Motors, the all-new 2000 Eclipse. Wake up and drive. By 10-10-220. Dial it and talk up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents. And by Adidas. Long live sport.
I don't know how many in attendance tonight arrived on the Queen Mary, but plenty of notables on hand. Are these celebrity shots or the Fortune 500? Paul Allen, who owns the Blazers, and half of the free world, along with Steven Spielberg, Rob Lowe there, Dustin Hoffman, who's a regular right across court from us, Denzel Washington, Penny Marshall, two true basketball fans, Michael Clark Duncan, who did such a great job in The Green Mile with Tom Hanks, country star Leanne Rimes, and what would a Laker game be without Jack? Lakers put it back in play, trailing by 6. Kobe Bryant traveled. And look how quickly Scottie Pippen grabs the ball, hands it to the official. They want to get it in as quickly as possible and try and catch the Lakers before they can regroup defensively, but it didn't happen that way.
Now, keep your eye on Sabonis. If they're going to continue to go in the post and Shaq is going to help defensively on Kobe, Sabonis is going to have to continue to shoot the ball. 3 for 3 in this quarter with 6 points.
Bonzi Wells testing Bryant. Shaq has it.
He's got to get that ball up. He's shooting 1 on 4 in there, Bob. Pass the ball.
Harper out to Green. Now Kobe into the lane, hands to Shaq, juggles it, ball loose. Pippen chases it down.
See, Kobe has to be very careful about picking up an offensive foul when he drives to the basket. That would be his 5th.
Rasheed Wallace makes the catch in the paint, and there's a whistle. Number 2 on AC Green.
If Bonzi Wells doesn't get it done here, remember Stacey Augmon had a big quarter against Kobe Bryant. He's very comfortable down there in the post, so he's going to give Bonzi a few more touches here, but Sabonis could be real key shooting this ball.
Green comes over to help for a moment. Steve Smith up top to Pippen for 3 just before the horn, and another dagger from Scottie Pippen.
2 in a row from Pip. The ball in the air, clock goes off. 6 points. Those are big 6 points for Scottie at the end of the clock.
Kobe Bryant playing catch with Shaq. He spins by Sabonis, and once he gets in that far, you might as well wave the flag of surrender.
You've got to get your foot on the out-of-bounds line if you're the defender. Use that as another defender. Make him come to the middle. That's where your help is.
Bonzi Wells got his own rebound. Pippen again. And Rice will take it. In deep to Shaq, an immediate foul.
When you have championship experience, you know that clock, and you know how vital possessions are, especially in a big game like this. Scottie looks up, he sees the clock, he gets it off just in time. You see the shot clock expires, nothing but the bottom of the net. And again, that's 6 points on shots like that for Scottie. You look up, they're up 7. So you see how critical those makes are.
The foul a moment ago on Sabonis was his 4th. Now Brian Grant comes in. He's truly a power forward, playing out of position at center, out of position against any center, let alone against Shaq. Here it comes, and there it goes, right down the chute.
Shaq is so comfortable playing against him because he knows he can't challenge his shot. Now remember in the first half, Mike Dunleavy went first with Jermaine O'Neal, then came in with Brian Grant.
A whistle away from the ball. And Ron Harper picks up his 4th.
When you know you got the advantage, your eyes get real big. Shaq says, give me the ball. I got great position. I got the size. I got the touch.
And he's got 19. Lakers over the limit. Scottie at the line where he struggled tonight. 2 of 5. hits that one. He has 19, tying Shaq for game honors.
Again, Bob, we talk about this with Scottie Pippen. This man is playing so hard to keep his team in the lead. And what we've seen in the fourth quarter, that's taken its toll. We have to watch as this game continues on. We're getting close to that fourth period. The Blazers clinging to a 7-point lead.
A little bit of pressure from Portland. Bryant eases it into the front court. Harper out of the corner. It almost popped back in, but eventually Wallace has the rebound.
Scottie wants it against Kobe.
Instead, he goes low to Wallace. Shaq with a hand in his face, but the foul on O'Neal apparently, his second. No, make it his first. My mistake, his first.
We talk so often about the NBA being a game of matchups. Scottie knew he had the advantage on Kobe, especially with Kobe having fouls. So he gets the ball, forces the double team. Wallace goes right to the basket and gets fouled. That's good basketball.
Playing virtually every minute in the last 2.5 games, Shaq has a total of 6 fouls. That was his first tonight. Saturday at 3 Eastern, NBC begins its coverage of the French Open, presented by BNP Paribas. Last year, Andre Agassi came from 2 sets down to claim the championship, became only the 5th man to achieve the career Grand Slam. Now Andre and the top men's and women's players are set to battle it out once again on the famed red clay of Roland Garros. The French Open coverage starts Saturday at 3 Eastern on NBC. With Bonzi Wells on him. In deep to Shaq against Grant. And forget about it. Plus the foul.
When you put Robert Horry in the corner and Pippen is guarding him, it's hard for him to get back in Shaq's lap because Horry can shoot the 3. Watch Scottie has to come out, and then look where Shaq catches the ball. The importance of Robert Horry being able to make the shot, even though tonight he's not shooting the ball well. The threat of him doing it forces Pippen to come out.
Al Attles, who coached Golden State to the title in '75 and who played with Wilt and who knew Shaq's father years ago, said recently, you know, I've resisted comparing Shaq to Wilt. But now I really have reason to compare the two. That's a great tribute.
Yes, it is.
If you know Al Attles at all, he is a no-nonsense guy. He's not throwing bouquets just to be nice. 3-point play. 4 for 5 tonight. 16 of his last 17 free throws, and almost all of them are swishes.
The poise of the Blazers will come into question right now. This is where they have to execute.
For 3, it's Smith. That's execution.
What a big shot by Smitty. Now remember, in the game they won here, game 2 of this series, he had a big third quarter, scored 11 points, had 24 for the game, hit a couple killer threes late in that game. That was a big shot. Keeps the lead at 8. That's where it was at half.
Wallace trying to help Grant with Shaq. Grant just battling like crazy to deny him position. He fouled him. It could have been a 3-point play.
I've always felt that Steve Smith was one of the best clutch shooters in the NBA. I remember when I was coaching Detroit, he had a big one falling out of bounds in Game 5 to eliminate us in the first round. And when you let him get his shoulder square and get set like that, he's going to make a very high percentage.
Portland has hit 6 of 11 three-pointers in this game. The Lakers, 4 of 15. Now Mr. Automatic is back at the free throw line.
Mr. Automatic. Look at his concentration. He is really in a great rhythm right now. And you know what people don't realize about him, because he never really talks about it. He goes to the gym late at night and shoots free throws, 11:30 at night. I remember Dennis Scott was in here at Game 1 of this series. Dennis Scott played with him in Orlando. He said they were shooting free throws at 11:30 the night before Game 1. He knows what it's all about, and he's starting to get some results.
That's just his second miss of this game. He's hit 5 of 7. too late, and he hits it.
Don't hesitate. He's shooting the ball well tonight. He had 2 in the first half and then tried to pass one up. You got to make that jump shot.
Shaq is in his head to a certain extent, and can you blame him?
No, not at all.
Pippen over to help. Shaq passes out of the double to Fox. Now it's Kobe. Snaps it underneath to Fox, who can't finish it. Blazers touched it last.
The Blazers are scrambling on every possession because every time it goes in to Shaq, they have to double team. When he kicks it out, they have to get out of the double team and then go back once again once he catches it.
Inside to O'Neal, and again, even 2 people aren't enough. He just powers through.
Well, you know you're good when you know it's coming and you still can't stop it. That's the frustration.
Scottie flying out to get a piece of it was Ori. But here's Smith with a clean look. The rebound to O'Neal. Sneaking back, Robert Ori.
Robert Ori challenged the shot, and Steve Smith fell down, and he just ran to the other end. Remember I said Mike Dunleavy's got to use his timeout. No big surges. The crowd is into the game. I like this. I like this timeout. You've got to try to diffuse this crowd. Come over with your team, draw up a play, and get yourself a basket. Shaquille O'Neal, they love to just lob the ball to the front of the rim. A little flip, and he knocks it down. Now Steve Smith shoots the ball. Robert Ori just keeps going. Steve Smith trying to get a foul. The referee didn't have it. Ori runs down to the end of the floor. This is his first basket. It could get him going. The crowd is going. It's a 5-point game. The Blazers got to hold on.
It's timeless, like her beauty. Ageless, like her smile. And like your love, everlasting. Is there any other way to show your love was meant to last a lifetime?
Well, you could tell her. Then with the same 13 grand, she could have over $60,000 for her retirement. We just thought you should know. Ask a financial advisor about Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Well, looky here. $1. Must be my lucky day. But is it really worth it to bend down and pick it up? It's only $1 after all. You can't buy anything good with that. Of course. I forgot about 10-10-220. All calls up to 20 minutes are just 99 cents, and just 7 cents a minute after that with no monthly fee. Well, I guess $1 really is worth something. Hey, I saw it first.
Dial 10-10-220. Let's be honest. There's really no such thing as a gracious winner. You might say things like nice game or shake your opponent's hand. But no matter how humble you are on the outside, deep down on the inside, you're saying, I'm better than you are. The Mitsubishi Galant, ranked the #1 family sedan under 20 grand by Car and Driver. Better than Accord or Camry. Boy, we just love saying that.
Hey, beer man, one for the groom-to-be?
Bachelor party, eh? Well, this is Frost Brewed Coors Light. Are you ready for that kind of commitment?
Yeah.
Please rise.
Come on, stand up.
Do you take this can to be your very own? Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish every ounce of this Rocky Mountain refreshment?
I do. Told myself I wasn't gonna cry.
If anyone here has reason why these two should not be joined together, speak now. Beer man. There you go.
New York, Indiana. In Game 4, the resilient Knicks held on down the stretch to tie their series with the Pacers. Now, as the scene shifts back to Indy, will Larry Bird's team gain the upper hand? Or will the Knicks come up big on the road? Pivotal Game 5, Wednesday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, NBC.
If you've got this kind of advantage, you've got to go inside. Sabonis is resting. Brian Grant trying hard as he possibly can. Shaq just overpowers him inside and dunks the ball, lays the ball in the basket. And let's hear what Phil Jackson had to say in that timeout to his team.
I'm almost at the point of telling you guys, go inside every time down. Big away, go inside before you start shooting the ball. Hey, get a pick, man. Somebody set a pick on this 3 down, man.
what he said is, look, I'm almost disappointed that I have to tell you this. We have the advantage. Sabonis is sitting down. He's really the only one with a big body that can push him out. You've got to keep punishing him inside. Keep going inside. That's why you're shooting a high percentage in this quarter.
Kobe Bryant's out. Brian Shaw is in. Wallace's turnaround is good. Wallace has not had a particularly good shooting night. He's now 5 for 15.
Nothing better as a coach than to call a timeout, come out, have your team execute it, then your all-star player hit the shot.
Rick Fox, Detlef Schrempf guarding him. Here's Ron Harper, cut off by Brian Grant, slides past him, and hits a nifty reverse.
Well, Scottie Pippen wanted walking on that play, felt like that Harper picked up his pivot foot. Kobe Bryant on the bench. What's going to happen here in the last minute 44?
Steve Smith against Shaw. Jumper over it. Got it.
Good low post player. Nice little spin move there by Steve Smith. Has the size advantage over Shaw.
Smith, who had a very quiet first half, has a big three and that basket in the third quarter, and he scored 9. Shaq with the flip in the lane, intended for Shaw, they lose it. Here comes Pippen, 3-on-2 if they push it. Scottie to Wallace, and Fox fouled him.
The Blazers are such a different team when they can get in the open court. In this period, the Lakers are shooting 62%, which means that they have to play more half-court offense because they're taking the ball out of the basket. Any steal, any rebound, they look to attack. And, Bob, if they can make these 2 free throws, they'll be up by 9 points, which means they've survived this rush and actually gained a point in this quarter. That would be very big.
Unlike the third quarters in Portland.
Now, if you're Mike Dunleavy, you got about 1:21 here. Do you think about trying to give Scottie Pippen any kind of rest at the end of this quarter? Then you've got the timeout for him to get some rest. But you know what? He's not going to get much rest tonight. He might have to play it all the way out.
Got them both. Pressure in the backcourt from Portland, and Pippen picks it off.
There's that steal by Scottie. They'll look to attack.
Rasheed Wallace isolated against Ori. Backing in. Nice pass to Schrempf, and Detlef Schrempf makes this an 11-point game.
They changed the double team. Fox came. The minute you get double teamed, you cut to the basket. That's exactly what Schrempf does. He's played a nice game off the bench.
Shaq. His pass is deflected. Pippen trying to save it. And does. It'll belong to Portland.
Rasheed Wallace, when your man comes to double team Fox, what do? Go right to the basket, and a great pass and an excellent finish. That's good offense.
Portland's on a 6-0 run. Shot clock as Wallace backs in. Here's the jumper.
Hold it out.
Steve Smith grabs it.
You get the last shot here. Scottie doesn't need to take it. You can go in. The worst thing you're up, Bob, now is 11. You score, it could be 13 or 14.
Scottie Pippen to Steve Smith. Good look at a 3. Schrempf has it. And he's fouled. With 1.3 on the clock.
Great play that time by Schrempf. Just a recognition that when you get that rebound, you got to get it back up. And how big would that shot have been by Steve Smith? It would have put him up 14. But as it is, if Schrempf can make both of these, it'll be a 13-point game. 13 seconds to go. Lakers still have a chance to score.
Steve Smith was completely alone and couldn't hit the 3. Bryant, a spectator for the moment.
But see what Mike Dunleavy's done in this period is this a little rest it's going to be for Steve Smith. But see what he's done? He's played Detlef Schrempf with Steve Smith and Pippen. So he's gone big back there. He did not bring in Greg Anthony. He has Stoudemire in the game. This is when Portland's at their best, when they're bigger in that backcourt and on that perimeter. .3 to get off a shot. Fox from
The third quarter ends with Portland on an 8-0 run. And exactly what does home court mean in this series?
Well, I tell you what it means right now, that Portland has tremendous pride right now in what they're trying to do. They're trying to get back for a Game 6. Now what they have to do is come out with that same kind of execution, that same kind of energy. A tremendous third period for the Blazers.
And we'll be back after these words from your local station. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Love at first sight. What's that based on? Have you ever looked at someone and said, check her out, she looks loyal? Or, whoa, look at the morals on that guy. No, love at first sight is based on something else. Sight.
I see you, baby. Shake it, baby.
The 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse, nicely equipped at 17.7. You'll even love what's on the inside.
And I want you to make your own WNBA commercial.
Cut!
Makeup, please.
Vicky, listen up.
Oh, let's get that ball.
Feel it, okay? All right, let's rehearse your next lines.
If it's great, it will be broadcast on national TV. And all spots will be posted on WNBA.com.
This is good. Roll it.
Quiet, please.
Action.
You might even work with a WNBA player like me. Log on to WNBA.com for all the information.
Cut! Give it to me one more time.
Catch Jay with Shaquille O'Neal and Kira Sedgwick, NBC tonight.
Pick up a select variety of Post cereals. Choose any 3 for just $6. All varieties of 5.5-ounce Friskies canned cat food, 5 for $1, limit 15. And get Tide Ultra Laundry Detergent in the 100-ounce bottle or 33 to 42 use box, 2 for $9, only at Meijer.
Think about driving the #1 selling truck in America 22 years straight. Ford F-150 now comes with low 3.9 financing or $500 cash back. And F-Series has more 4-door super cabs than anyone, including the new 2001 F-150 Super Crew. Low 3.9 financing or $500 cash back on the Bill Ford Tough F-150? Now that's something to think about.
Bob Knight in his own words on the night beat after the Lakers and Blazers.
His amazing courage still fresh in our memories. His legend grows as a favorite for Olympic gold in Sydney. The Olympic Games on NBC. Follow the dream. The Blazers have won every quarter tonight, and they take a 13-point lead into the fourth. Here's Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. During that last timeout, Phil Jackson really very emphatic about telling his team to stay with the offense. Do not go solo. Every time they go solo, they get in trouble. Wants them to settle down and just go with the offense right now, Bob.
You got to look at Glenn Rice. He's played 21 minutes. In Game 4, he scored 21 points. Tonight, 1 for 4, 4 points. Here he is with the ball against Schrempf. Horry looking for Shaq. Sabonis back in is on him. Here's Fisher. Straight away for 3, and it's off.
I really like this lineup that the Blazers have right now. With Derek Fisher in the game, he's got to guard a bigger post player. Bonzi Wells has the advantage, and if Shaq helps, Sabonis can shoot it. So be aware of Sabonis now if Shaq double teams in the post. But you got a small guard out there defensively right now.
Schrempf finds Grant. He shot an air ball, and that makes it a 24-second violation.
I don't like Bonzi Wells out on the floor handling the ball as a post passer. Fisher can smother him. Get him on that block. Let either Scottie Pippen or Detlef Schrempf be the passer.
O'Neal out to Fisher, to Rice for 3. And a whistle on the rebound.
That's going to be on Sabonis. They said that he pushed Shaq in the back. That'll be his 5th personal foul. That's a big foul right there because they need the presence of Sabonis out there. The shot's going to go up in the post. Now, Shaq is going to have inside position. Let's watch Sabonis. He grabs him by the right arm. I don't know. That's a touchy foul with all the contact that's going on in there right now.
Immediately they go right into Shaq with Sabonis sitting. Not that they won't challenge Sabonis, but it's even easier when Arvidas is out of the lineup, and Shaq scores plus the foul.
Well, so much has been made about that the Lakers don't have a backup center. They don't need one. Shaq plays almost the entire game. The problem is Portland really doesn't have a backup center. I mean, that's unfair to ask Brian Grant to play that position against him, but really Mike has no other chances or choices unless he's going to go. As we see Joe Klein there, he is not on the roster. They were worried about Greg Anthony's foot, so they activated Gary Grant. They went with another guard rather than a big guy.
And Grant hasn't played at all. At least not when it's mattered. Here's Wells laying it up and missing, and Ori grabs the rebound.
Remember that miss right there. Instead of 12, it could go to 8 or 7 with a 3.
Ori had a golden opportunity and missed. Rasheed Wallace back to Pippen. Returns to Rasheed in the paint. And if it's Kobe, then that'll be 5 on him, and it is.
Now that's a power move. That wasn't a flip. That wasn't something you're going to go in there and try to lay up. You're going to try to dunk this ball. You got a smaller player on you. You know Shaq's going to try to come over. Power dunk that basketball. It's a great effort by Rasheed Wallace. But we got to give him credit. He has not had a great shooting game, but he's made big baskets. That timely basket coming out of timeout when the lead had been cut to 5.
And 10 rebounds to go with 17 points now.
And Phil is going to keep Kobe on the floor with 5 fouls.
Going back to your earlier point, of course, it's easy to second guess, but a lot of people would have said even before the series began, why not activate Joe Klein and have extra fouls to use and another big body, a true center, to at least suck up some minutes against Shaq.
Well, I talked to Mike Dunleavy about it. He said we were worried about being able to get to this position, and we felt we needed another guard in case Greg Anthony went down with the injury.
Kobe Bryant, a variety of moves.
That's an offensive foul. He was going to call offensive foul on that play. Let's see what he's going to get here.
The Blazers are pleading for the foul. That would foul Kobe out, but it doesn't go that way.
Boy, I thought Ronnie Nunn was going to throw that arm out for an offensive foul. That would have fouled Kobe out. Let's watch his off arm here. Now watch as he hangs in the air. Watch his left arm right there. And Mike Dunleavy is upset. Look at him. He knows that would have been it for Kobe Bryant.
Instead, it's on Rasheed Wallace, his 4th.
I don't see how that foul could have been on Rasheed Wallace. If you want to say Bonzi Wells from behind, maybe. But Kobe threw his left arm out there against Rasheed Wallace.
Perhaps the Lakers caught a break. But they still trail by 10 with 10 minutes remaining.
Up again, they want to go to Bonzi Wells. Now he has not delivered down there when they've needed him.
Detlef Schrempf, shot clock winding down. It's Bonzi Wells, and Shaq takes it. He pegs it ahead to Kobe. He's got Rice on his right, and they wrap Kobe up. They're going to count that. They're going to count that on the continuation, and the Blazer bench is livid. And both of them go the Lakers' way.
And look at the reaction by Shaquille O'Neal. 2 critical plays, 8-point game. Kobe shooting a free throw when we come back.
NBA 2-ball. That's NBA 2-ball. Take the shot.
Like a furnace up in this mug.
Jamie Foxx.
Burning up. It's hot enough to make a cool brother sweat.
Let me get a Coors Light.
Coors Light.
Woo! Yeah. Get it now.
Oh, man, you're so pretty.
I bet you tell that to all the girls.
Yeah, I do.
Coors Light.
My parents were very excited that the Navy was going to pay for 4 years of college. And after that, I had a job. I went right to flight school.
I had no means, no way of supporting myself.
I remember the look on my father's face because he knew I was going to go to college.
I'm practically going to school for free. I received a scholarship from the United States Navy. Navy paid for my tuition. They paid for my books.
And they're actual college professors that come aboard to teach us while underway.
The Navy wants you to go to school. It wants you to succeed, and it strongly promotes that.
Prudential helped the Bakers find their dream home and protect it with home insurance. Prudential Life Insurance is part of the Goldstein's estate plan. The Smiths are planning their college investments and getting investment advice for retirement. Millions of people plan their future with the strength of Prudential.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Cold Refreshing Zima. Zima, a few degrees colder. By Toyota. Go for it every day. By Prudential, your rock-solid choice for insurance, investments, real estate, and financial services. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. When the moment comes, will you have what it takes to finish? Gatorade, is it in you?
Critical plays in this game, the last two possessions. Now, Kobe Bryant, watch his left arm. You're not allowed to push off. Rasheed goes straight up in the air, the left arm. He pushes off, fades back. Now, if you want to say Rasheed got him there, but still he came down on the ball. So critical play there. That would have been Kobe's sixth foul. Now, here's the continuation. There's the foul right there. And Kobe continues on. He takes the step, gathers himself, and shoots the basketball. Remember, also in the first half, there was the alley-oop from Glenn Rice that Shaq guided into the basket that shouldn't have counted. So right now, the Blazers have been hurt with a couple really terrible calls.
Kobe can't complete the three-point play.
I'm telling you, if I'm Mike Dunleavy in that timeout, do not shoot a jump shot. Drive the ball to the basket and make them blow the whistle and put us on the foul line. Go to the basket right now and go to the foul line.
Rasheed Wallace. Detlef Schrempf. Inside to Grant. Brian Grant scores +1. You and Dunleavy were on the same wavelength.
Well, let me tell you something about these officials. You know, they're going to miss some calls. But let me tell you what, they also know, and as a coach you know, that these are very professional guys. They don't want to make mistakes. So don't give them an out by shooting a jump shot. Go back and put the pressure on them. That's what you do as a coach.
The foul was Robert Horry's second. The three-point play by Brian Grant ups the lead to 11. Here's Kobe Bryant. Shot clock down to 3 now. Derek Fisher. And the rebound to Brian Grant.
Attack the basket. If you're Blazers, keep the pressure on. Do not settle for long jump shots now. You got some matchups out there in your favor. Shot clock's winding down. Crimp's got to get it up.
1 second as he lets it go, and Shaq has the rebound. Here's O'Neal against Grant. Wallace arrives with the help, but they can't do anything about it.
Just a frustration if you're Brian Grant. You play great position, you just get overpowered. The man's got the heart of a lion. But, you know, he's trying, but Shaq is just too big and powerful in there for him.
Pippen spins into the paint and hits that little hook.
Now remember, at the end of game 3, Scottie Pippen got very aggressive. If Kobe's going to play him, you got to go to Pippen.
22 for Scottie. And Bryant traveled. That's the 6th turnover by Kobe Bryant tonight.
And we saw the face of Phil Jackson. He's getting concerned. You're going to go inside to Scottie Pippen. He forces the contact. Wheels in a little jump hook. If it works once, go back to it once again. You double team. Look for the 3 from Steve Smith.
Here's Rasheed Wallace. And Shaq snatches it. Off to Bryant. Kobe takes it in himself. To the floor they go. And it looks like a jump ball.
That was a possession where Kobe tried to force that one. Really no place to go 1-on-3. He actually shot it off the wrong foot. But now's the time, if you're Mike Dunleavy, you tell your team, look, we have played well. As we see Kobe go in here, when that ball goes down on the floor, you've got to get every loose ball. When that ball is down there, I want 3 guys on the floor. Don't be reaching, don't be grabbing. I want bodies on the floor. We're 7 minutes away from game 6.
Bryant goes out, replaced by Ron Harper. Harper's had a good game with 11. But the big 2 aren't getting much help from other precincts.
But I tell you what, if you're Portland, you'd much rather see Ron Harper out there as you would Kobe Bryant. That's not a good shot by Detlef Schrempf. You don't need that shot right now. Use the clock, get something inside.
Rice, Ori, Fox, and Fisher, a combined 4 of 21 among those 4. Speaking of Ori, he lets it go, and he raises his arms toward the ceiling as if to say, finally, finally.
He'd only made 1 basket when he ran out when Steve Smith fell down. 8-point lead and a long time to play.
Rasheed Wallace, off-balance shot, and he hits it.
Oh, that is so good. You come across the middle and you hang in the air like you're a small guard. Again, Wallace with a big basket to stem the tide.
He's got 20. Ori tries another. Can't hit it. It comes up short, but Harper rebounds. Rice for 3. Shaq chases it down. Rice again. You'd think one of them would go, but they come up empty.
And Glenn Rice, after the big game 4 where he had 21 points, is really struggling. 1 of 7 tonight. They have done a great job identifying him out on the floor. Now's when your stars win basketball games for you. It's Rasheed Wallace time.
He kicked it away. Portland turnover. 5.5 minutes left.
Rasheed Wallace with a great move across the lane. Robert Ori all over him. He hangs in the air, actually comes down, and on the way down right before he walks, he gets the shot up and in the basket. And you're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
We didn't build the full-size Tundra to take on other trucks. We built it to take on anything. Toyota Tundra, Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
To build an e-business, you need to begin with the right elements, which explains why 95% of the Street.com's Internet Sector Index run Oracle. Oracle. Software powers the Internet.
Uniroyal tires with nail guard seal most tread punctures instantly, permanently, and repeatedly. Nail guard tires, only from Uniroyal.
Drinking Gatorade doesn't guarantee anything.
It won't make your legs longer. It won't put the ball in the hoop.
It can't get you a date.
It won't help you dunk if you're 4 feet tall.
You won't win just by drinking it.
But it has stuff that water doesn't have.
and they put stuff back in your body so you can finish strong. You know what I'm saying?
The battle continues. And only the mighty remain.
It has been a war.
On a quest for greatness, their destiny awaits.
Oh, no! Block, what a rejection. You guys dig in and get a score.
And from the chaos will come a champion.
Yes!
The NBA Finals 2000 on NBC. Coming soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other dissemination or use of this telecast, or of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Remember early, we heard Phil Jackson tell his team, get the ball inside, stop shooting threes. Well, there's one three. You get an offensive rebounder, you kick it back to Glenn Rice. He takes another three. What do? You get another possession, you kick it out, and Glenn Rice takes another three. 3 straight threes on this possession. That is not the Lakers game. Too much time left in the game to do that. And you can see games 1 and 2, 21 attempts here at home. They fell in love with it. When they won games 3 and 4, they went back to the normal character. They shot 13. And what have they done tonight? 5 of 23. That plays into the Blazers. They might hit a couple or whatever, but that means that Shaq is not touching the ball.
And what happens when they do go deep? Shaq has hit his last 7 shots. He's got 30 points and 16 rebounds.
Kobe Bryant back in the game.
They're looking for Shaq.
3 seconds.
A 3-second violation.
Now, you got Kobe on Steve Smith. In game 2, they went to him in the post with Kobe having fouls, and he delivered. Let's see if they go to Smith in the post on Kobe.
They do. He tried to find Grant, and Harper, always an alert defender, steals it. And Pippen, another great defender, knocks it away at the other end. The old guys still have a few tricks.
The great hustle you see. Scottie Pippen saying, don't foul him, Steve. Good communication there.
Bryant for 3.
And another 3. That's 5 for 24. Shaq not touching the ball. The Blazers have 4 fouls. You're shooting free throws the rest of the way, and you're shooting long jump shots.
And you're no longer afraid to have Shaq on the line.
Steve Smith's got to attack right here. He's got to go.
Terry Durham saw something. And if what he saw is Kobe Bryant, he will see the rest of this game from the bench. That's his 6th.
This has been maybe Kobe's worst playoff game that I've seen him play this year. Got out of character early in the game, tried to do too much, got in foul trouble, and yes, he has 17 points, but that's not a good 17, and I know Kobe's disappointed. I know this young man very well, but you know what? If you're going to guard him with Steve Smith's going to be in the post, you got to throw him the ball, and Steve Smith does a great thing. He locks him up and puts the onus on the official to make the call.
So now Brian Shaw will have to play some very important minutes.
Now they'll go to Steve Smith on Brian Shaw.
Here it is.
Before he helps, watch Wallace shoot the jumper.
But Shaw committed the foul. And that's 4 on him. 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the 4th.
And both teams shoot free throws here out. Steve Smith, an excellent free throw shooter. Go back to him once more. If he gets fouled, he'll shoot 2 free throws.
There's the whistle. Phil Jackson, placid as ever on the bench.
Steve Smith has great footwork down on the post. He doesn't have great lift now because he's got bad knees, but he's tough to guard down there. He pumps you up in the air and gets the foul. Now critical free throws here with 4:29 to go.
Brian Shaw has played 6 minutes and committed 5 fouls. Up by 11 tomorrow night in prime time. More NBA conference final action. The scene shifts back to Indiana. Game 5. The Knicks and the Pacers even up at 2 apiece. 9 Eastern on NBC.
I'll tell you, Indiana's got to be kicking themselves. They were up 2-0 in that series. All the injuries in Game 3, but I tell you what you saw in New York. You saw a very proud team, and when they're wounded, they appear to be at their best.
And we're seeing a proud Portland team here. Pippen reaches in and fouls Harper.
Well, Scottie doesn't want to do that. He does not want to stop this clock and put Harper on the foul line. Right now, you want to force them to use as much clock as possible. Scottie's got those long arms. Going to reach in, try to deflect that ball. Got a piece of it, but he also got a piece of Ron Harper. Scottie not happy with it. Bob, I'll never forget when I was coaching the Chicago Bulls and we came in the draft in 1988, actually 87 after my first year there, and got Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen in the draft. How excited you were knowing that there was something special on the horizon going with Michael Jordan. Needless to say, about 10 years later, he has 6 rings.
And look how he fills up a box score. He has 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 6 steals.
And what did Chuck Daly call him? You had the line last time.
A fill-in-the-blanks guy. Whatever needs filling in the box score to help you win a game, he'll do it.
Well, I'll tell you what he'd like to fill in tonight, a W. An 11-point difference as the clock ticks down toward 4 minutes. And how about the minutes that Schrempf has played tonight? They've gone big on the perimeter almost the entire second half. We've seen very little Stoudemire and no Anthony.
Rasheed Wallace against Ori with a sweeping hook that's good.
Abdul-Jabbar. That was more of a subway hook, though, than a sky hook.
Right. That came from an entirely different angle. They try to find Shaq, and they lose it. They peg it ahead for Scottie, but he'll circle back out.
Smart play. Use some clock. You got a 13-point lead. Go to your strength there. Go back to Rasheed Wallace. Let him make a play against Ori.
There it is. This time the hook won't drop. 17 rebounds for Shaq.
No layups for Shaq now. Even as good as he's shooting free throws, no layups.
The jumper for Harper.
Bob, still plenty of time. Portland cannot let up here. They cannot have careless turnovers. They must get a good shot every time down the floor and balance the court and give up no easy layups.
Harper rejuvenated in this series. Now here's Rice with the steal. Backs up and takes a 3. And Grant rebounds. They're not so late in the game that that's necessary.
Not yet. Not yet. But again, Scottie with a little careless turnover there, no possession. They could not get a shot.
After the great game in Game 4 on his birthday, Glenn Rice is 1 for 8 tonight, 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Bryant Shaw just fouled out, played 7 minutes, committed 6 fouls.
And once again, the big back by Wallace. Blazers by 11, 2:49 left.
Ever have that dream where you're driving, introducing the next Celica? Go!
Can you be in 2 places at once?
Roll service. Yeah. Just 1 second.
How many times have you wished you could?
Come on, Mike.
Well, now you can, because Lucent is making the internet move at light speed. So a son's semifinal match can be webcast, and a dad can always keep his promise. Change the way people communicate, yes! And you change the way they live. Lucent Technologies. Expect great things.
Duvall, Love, Mickelson, Norman, and Woods. A long list of honors define this select group, but none have had their names etched on this symbol of golfing supremacy. Will one of them finally realize the glory associated with winning golf's greatest championship? The U.S. Open, beginning June 15th on NBC.
Well, not what the Lakers expected on a beautiful night here in L.A. You got to give Portland a whole lot of credit. But you know what? Shame on the Lakers tonight. When you look at these numbers, they're going to really shock you. Shaquille O'Neal has been really unstoppable inside. And his numbers on the night, he's got like 30 points, 17 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, 20 field goals attempts. But what has he done in the fourth quarter? 2 touches, actually 2 shots. He's 2 for 2. And all we've heard Phil Jackson say the entire time is go inside, stop shooting long shots, stop shooting threes. Well, how many threes have they shot in this period? It just sort of punctuates that 9 threes. Shaq 2 shots, 9 threes. It's exactly what the Blazers want.
And they've made, as you saw, 1 of them. 2 minutes and 49 seconds from Game 6.
I tell you, I really like the lineup that Mike Dunleavy has used tonight. He's playing Bryant, Grant out there together with Rasheed, with Sabonis in foul trouble. Kobe is fouled out of the game, and he's played big in the backcourt. He's put Detlef Shrimp in the game. Remember, the guy was a DNP in Game 4. Detlef has been great. Scottie, Steve Smith, Rasheed. This has been a great game. Now can they hold on here the last 250?
O'Neal right back out to Harper, who has scored 14. Derek Fisher. The lob underneath for Shaq. Grant got a hand on it. Batted it to Pippen. Laker turnover. You mentioned Detlef Schrempf. How good has he been? 8 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Here he is with the ball, dumping it into Smith.
You got the matchup. Shaq's going to help out. Somebody's going to be open.
Scottie Pippen gets to the rim. Kind of ad-libs a shot and misses it. Shaq inside. He was fouled and the shot won't drop. He'll shoot 2.
Well, Scottie got just enough of his arm there that forced him to miss that shot. Shaq was going to go up and power dunk that one. Scottie was upset on the play, thought he had gotten fouled, finally got back in the play late, and just enough to be able to grab Shaquille's arm. You're going to see it right here. Grabs him on the elbow and knocks the ball loose just enough to miss the shot.
He's 6 for 9 now at the line in this game. 30 points, 18 rebounds.
But the difference is, other than Harper, who's had a good game, Glenn Rice has been very, very cold. They got really nothing out of Kobe, although it says 17 points. He was out of sync. Robert Horry shot the ball poorly. All the guys who played well in Portland struggled at home tonight. Sally getting ready to come in. It looks like Phil is going to take Shaq out the last minute or so of this game.
Steve Smith brings it out to Bryant Grant for the open jumper that's short. Shaq with his 19th rebound. Fisher for 3. That goes. And makes it a 10-point game with now exactly a minute and a half left.
Remember the last time the Blazers were in here and they won, Bob, Phil called them a bunch of jackals for winning at the end of the game. Well, I tell you what, they have played well tonight, and they have got to be excited about getting this thing back to Portland now.
Robert Horry lays it in. That makes it an 8-point game.
Get the ball to a good free throw shooter. Get him Steve Smith's hands.
You called it. They double him out to Scottie. Back to Smith for the turnaround. He doesn't hit it, and the Lakers are alive.
Well, they score here. It's a 6-point game, possibly a 5 if they hit a 3.
Fisher hands it to Shaq, and Schrempf reaches in and fouls him.
Phil was going to take Shaq out of the game. He looked like he had thrown up the white flag that it was over. All of a sudden, the Lakers come down. They score quickly. Looks like John Sally might be coming back to the bench right now. He probably will leave Shaq in.
Well, Sally continues toward the scorer's table. Maybe it depends on whether he hits both of them here. He's got the first.
This game is not over. We acted like this thing was done, but the Blazers have been known to get careless, and we've seen it. The Lakers are going to come up and they're going to try to trap. The Blazers cannot turn the ball over. Get the ball to a good free throw shooter, and then you got to make your free throws. Now don't throw it to Brian Grant. He's not a good free throw shooter. Keep it to Shrimp, maybe Steve Smith.
And it was Shrimp who was fouled as he released the pass. Shaq, and it is very, very hard to criticize anything he does these days. He's such a splendid player. He has missed 3 of his last 4 free throws as the Lakers tried to mount a late comeback. If he'd made those, if he'd made all of them, they'd be within 4, but that's a whole lot to ask. And now he will sit down, and John Sally is in for the last 35 seconds. Shrimp keeping it interesting. Tomorrow night, Game 5 from Indianapolis. They're tied at 2 apiece. The Knicks and the Pacers, 9 Eastern time.
If you're Mike Dunleavy, you're basically saying if we can get one stop, if we can stop them this time, the game is over. If not, it's still extended.
Harper with the fake. He's got a good look at it. He misses the 3.
That's it. That's
Smith rebounds, and now the Lakers back away, and they won't even foul.
Now, Bob Portland, I walk off this floor like we expected to come here to do it, and Bob, I'm going to steal a line from you. Portland was going to go home tonight. The question was going to be, were they going to drag L.A. with them? The answer is yes.
Perhaps unexpectedly, yes. Unexpected in many quarters, but that's the case. Something else to keep in mind. If Portland can win at home on Friday, and that is a very big if, because the Lakers have won the last 3 games they played at the Rose Garden. But if somehow they get it back here, Portland knows they can win on this floor. They've won 2 of the 3 games in this series on this floor.
Little words exchanged by Scottie Pippen and Phil there too. As Phil walked off the floor, Scottie was looking at him. Little words exchanged. But Scottie's got to be very happy, and you know what? You got to give Mike Dunleavy a lot of credit. Coached a great game tonight. His team was ready, and they answered it.
Worth noting, how good was Shaq in defeat? 31 points, 21 rebounds. We'll be back.
Hey, Bingo. You're in the way. When you offer the most powerful 4-cylinder engine in a compact truck, you too, little Bingo. You don't need gimmicks to get people's attention. Back in 1988, this truck offered first-class dependability at a great price. That's about all that hasn't changed.
Every player has a weakness. Tonight, Mr. Grant Hill's weakness takes center court.
There's only one place to go for the irresistible taste of America's favorite fries. Did somebody say McDonald's? Enjoy the fries that have earned the right to be called America's favorite fries.
Take her down now.
Rock and roll! I'm here to stay!
You left everything behind. Your family, your country. Why?
Почему приехал? В моей стране ничего нет за бесплатно. Не буду платить за интернет-аксесс.
What's he saying?
He wants net zero.
Well, of course he does.
Free internet access. Net zero.
Last year, Yasmin Bleeth was catching crooks on another network.
This fall, NBC has a better idea. Turn Yasmin loose and hold on tight. Give your new mom a hug. Titans coming to NBC this fall.
Scottie Pippen played 43 minutes tonight, shot 8 of 12 from the floor, scored 22 points, had 6 rebounds, 6 steals, and 3 assists. And he's with Ahmad.
Scottie, a tremendous game for your ball club tonight. I know you were concerned coming in that those 2 losses at home maybe had done some body blows to your team, but you came out and played hard tonight.
Well, I never worry about us on the road. We tend to play much better on the road. We play much smarter basketball. We play harder, and we realize the odds are against us right now. So, I mean, we came out and responded well, and we have to continue to respond like this.
What was the difference in the third quarter? You guys were not only able to sustain the lead, but today you actually even increased it by the end of the third quarter.
Well, I think we just made a conservative effort to come out and do the things that we did to start the game. With me getting on the offensive glass, Rasheed staying aggressive and not, getting too lax and sitting back and waiting on the double team, just continue attack. And that's what we did throughout the whole game.
And defensively, how were you able to keep the ball out of Shaq's hands in the fourth quarter?
Well, it was tough, but, our guys came in to utilize their fouls to their advantage. And, Shaq got going in there deep, but, he's a dominant player. And, just luckily we were able to keep a cushion lead where it wouldn't be a factor.
All right, you guys live to fight again. We will see you Friday night in Portland.
All right, thanks. We're bringing it home.
All right, back to you, Bob.
Ahmad, thanks. And, of course, we will have that game, 9:30 Eastern time, second half of a doubleheader. The Pacers and the Knicks will play their Game 5 tomorrow, 9 Eastern time on NBC. Then their 6th game from New York will be the first half of the doubleheader on Friday, followed by Game 6 of this series from Portland at 9:30 Eastern time. Portland's bench, which didn't chip in its usual fashion in Game 4, had its combined 25 points tonight as they win it 96-88 and force Game 6. Tomorrow at 9 Eastern, it's the Knicks and the Pacers, as we told you. Tonight, following your late local news, it's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Jay's guests include Shaquille O'Neal. You probably figured out it's a repeat, as well as Kira Sedgwick and singer Charlotte Church. For Doug Collins and Ahmad Rashad, I'm Bob Costas. Good night from L.A. You've been watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
It was the pinnacle of one of the greatest returns to glory. Andre Agassi's amazing French Open victory capped his career Grand Slam and put him back on top of the tennis world. Now he goes for his 4th title in his last 5 Grand Slam events. The French Open. Coverage begins Saturday at 3 Eastern on NBC.
Do I care as much as when I started? I care more.
7825, go 6.
I'm Rick Granger live on NBC, America's Olympic Network.